Welcome to an extremely crisp Saturday morning in Girona. We are currently, and unfortunately, panic training for the Gravel World Championships next weekend. I've got two really big back-to-back days on the calendar. I think we're going to do two of my favorite routes, 140 kilometers today and 160 kilometers tomorrow. Thankfully, the last 5 days, I've had some pretty good training, plenty of good efforts in, and everything's gone to plan. But these last 2 days really need to go to plan. Otherwise, I'm going to be a bit cooked. I'm on the brand new Carnago Y1 RS. A lot of you asked, a lot of questions on Instagram and on the last YouTube video, which has done incredibly well. So if you haven't watched that one, go and watch that one after this. So I'm going to answer a lot of those in the video. I'm going to talk about training, the joys, the fruits of Girona, and the things that I love here. The things that I love about the bike, the things I don't love about the bike. I'm on my way to Espresso Mafia, which is one of my favorite coffee shops. Not my favorite, but it's one of my favorites, to get a brew, to get the morning started. We're gonna head back, get breakfast, and start getting stuck in to this 2 days of panic training for the Gravel World Champs. Let's go. I actually live in the old town of Girona, and lots of people ask me where to stay in Girona, and I would highly recommend you stay in the old town. It really gives you a good feel for Girona and the real experience. Gravel World Champs is 180 kilometers of rolling climbs. It's a 50 kilometer loop. The World Champs are in Nijmegen this year in the Netherlands. Probably butchered that. So that is the reason for doing the two really big back-to-back days. Get it home, let's make some breakfast. So for breakfast, we have got 2 open sandwiches on bagels. We've got egg, serrano ham, and a little bit of sriracha. And then we've also got like a sweet bagel as well, so which has just got peanut butter and jam on it and a bit of sea salt. Yeah, good carbs, good protein. This is the aim of the game for 2 big days on the bike back to back. Eat the savory one first, because the other one is like a dessert. We're about to head out on the ride, but I'm gonna tell you the reason why I'm panic training, and it's something that's not in my control, but really important to chat about. And I feel like it's a massive taboo subject, or it's just not really spoken about that much. And basically, I got a concussion from the last video, or the last criterium that I raced in Italy. And concussions are really, really not to be taken lightly. They are, they can honestly be life transforming for the worst if you don't take them seriously. Now, British Cycling have a really good concussion protocol, and if you ever get a concussion or you feel like you get a concussion, do this protocol, because it will honestly ensure that you don't do any more damage to your brain. I'll leave the concussion protocol actually in the description, because it's really important and you should definitely follow it. This bike is just so nice. I look at this and go, how is this mine? Thank you, Carnago. Nutrition on the bike today is looking a bit like this. Spillage. And because we're going to be riding through the middle of the day and during the middle of lunchtime, I'm actually going to be trying to eat a bit of normal food both today and tomorrow. And it also just switches it up from just eating sugar all day. Yeah, obviously this is not, you can't do this in a race. You can't chow a bagel as much as I would love to. It's not possible. Someone wise once told me, you're eating for tomorrow. One of the great things about Girona, within 5 minutes, even less, you're outside of town. So these 2 rides are actually going to be long endurance rides. I did my efforts earlier this week. They were hard enough as it is. So this weekend, it's just zone 2, which is really pleasant. I can just hack around. I roughly know what my zone 2 is without a power meter. Should be 2 really enjoyable days on the bike if it goes smoothly. The efforts I did earlier this week, some over and unders, some VO2 max work with the boys. So one of the boys, Lucas, organised a chop ride. And a chop ride is, well, you chop and you go pretty hard. I had 3 pinging World Tour riders to hang on for. As you can see, I'm a bit cooked here. I'm riding off the road. I just gave my all for the boys. Actually, I don't really know what I signed myself up for today. I'll take a Coke and PayPal here.
Like, it's so good, eh?
PayPal. Minerals.
Staring ahead.
So we are currently on Sant Grau, which is a 8.7 kilometer climb with 4% gradient. Yeah, it's a pretty quiet climb, bit bumpy on the way up. There's no real reason to be on this road as a car unless you've just bought like a newly purchased GT3. Potentially launch yourself into the Costa Brava. The panic training, I'm not stressed about my situation at all really. And the reason for that is these are variables that I couldn't control. And I feel like in cycling, you know, you always need a bit of luck to make anything happen. And a lot of the time the variables can't be controlled. And that's not something to sweat about. You know, I got a concussion. I had to deal with the fact that I got a concussion, and yeah, comes with the risk of racing. But I can't control how my head is gonna feel. You know, this is the time I've got to train, and so. What does the bike weigh? Good question. It's light. I'm not gonna tell you how much, because I haven't weighed it yet, but I picked it up when I first got it. I was really surprised. So, guess in the comments to what this bike weighs. Current setup with the lightweights, no Wahoo, no bidon, no saddlebag. And yeah, the closest person will get a pack of stickers. And I know so many people have messaged me about the stickers. They will come. I'll leave a vcletsgetit.net link. Sign up there and you'll just be the first to know when they get released. A question that a lot of people asked was, what are the handlebars like? And they are phenomenal. They look strange, they look alien, but they hold your hands in the right place. It feels comfortable. It feels like you're in control. Also, some new hand positions have been invented. Here, here, here. Shout out to SRAM for these. These are sick. But yeah, and with that, can this bike go in a bike box as we reach the top of Sant Grau here? And the answer is yes. So actually the headset here is actually pretty easy to undo. It's 4 bolts and it comes out. And quite honestly, I even would say it's easier than my C68 headset. So that's a dub. And with that, I'm gonna go down. It's just really a beautiful descent, this. Honestly, like, the ground is not perfect. It's by far from perfect, actually. It's quite sketchy. But fuck, it's just so much fun. We've even got some hairpins, which you can do one-handed. Look at this. With this one, you just have to stop and respect it, you know? descend into a town and you're going to want to stop here for a coffee. It's a really, really good spot. It's called Anna Cafe, and the brew is incredible and the carrot cake is moist. It's about as moist as something moist. They also have indoor bike storage, which is just tremendous. What an odd sign for disqualification. Anyway, after a mineral stop at Anna Cafe, you're gonna hit this camp called La Ganga, where it's like 4.2 kilometers at 4%. It's nice. If you've got no legs, you're gonna be cooked. We're coming over to just over halfway on the ride. Music, choice of music, when to use music. I like to use music like over halfway into the ride. Like, it basically just makes it more impactful. And also, like, you don't bombard your senses for the entire ride. You know, there's also a joy in just like listening to your own thoughts. I mean, that's actually how I make half the decisions in my life. It's just by thinking to myself on the bike. It's actually turned into a ridiculously warm day. I didn't expect this at all, and it's a bit unusual. It's usually getting a bit colder now, so talking of cold, it's pretty cold back home in London. And then winter training is gonna kick in. I know a lot of you guys might need some motivation, so the VC Let's Get It SoundCloud playlist, it's pretty good. There's quite a few mixes in there if you like mixes. Spotify playlist, got lots of bits there too. To help with the Training Peaks, who I've been working with for a few years now, but I've got a discount code in the description for 20% off annual subscription. So I'm sure some people's annual subscriptions are coming up. You know, if you don't know what Training Peaks is, it's like a massively commonly used app for training. It records all your training. It's great if you've got a coach. It's great if you don't have a coach. You know, they've got sessions on there, programs to help you build through the winter for whatever. Yeah, go check them out. Yep. I forgot to say, whilst you're at it, if you press the subscribe button, you're guaranteed extra minerals on your next group ride. We're 71 kilometers in. I've got a beaming tailwind. My dad would be proud. My dad was a cyclist. He would never plan a route without a tailwind on the way home. And I didn't plan it, but it's happening. The headphones are in, the minerals are coming back to my body. Home stretch. Let's go. Right, that was a good. Okay, so whilst the iPhone is having a moment and charging, we're on the protein, 20 grams. Get it in. Rice is in the microwave. 2 eggs, chicken. I forget what these are called, but they're really good. This is a quick meal. This is a rapid meal. This is a 400 watt FTP meal. We're not trying to Gordon Ramsay the gaff here. It's about replenishing the minerals, and that's it. Just doing. It's Del Toro versus Pigcock. I didn't think he was going to catch Pigcock, but it's not looking too good, mate. Into one of these. Good morning. It is the morning of day 2 of panic training for the Gravel World Championships, and we are feeling hungry and stiff. So, time to get this show on the road. 160 kilometers on the cards today, and I forget how much elevation there is, but there is a lot. Right, it's 9:02. I've just annihilated 2 eggs, bread, rice, some ham. Yeah, I need another coffee, I reckon, and then we're gonna be good to go. I'm not currently in an outfit that's suitable, so let's go change that. We also gotta get some gels as well, but yeah, it's not special. We're not trying to Jamie Oliver the kitchen in the morning. We are getting it done. We've got 3 gels. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but then we've also got an entire bottle of carb mix, which has got the best part of almost 200 grams of carbohydrate in there. So we've got some really, really beautiful scenery to see today. So I'm pretty likely to be completely and utterly shelled at the end of this ride. So stay tuned for the demise of the panic training for Gravel World Champs. So let's go. I needed the tunes to get going this morning, I'm not gonna lie. Right, so we're currently on Alpha. It's a good 7.2 kilometer climb, 5% gradient average. This is one of 2 big climbs today. Makes all the other lumps and bumps feel like nothing, to be fair. It just occurred to me, aero bikes, I'm loving them. And it makes me think about what Carnago said. The V5 RS is quicker on anything above 8% gradient. But I come to the conclusion, how often are you doing above 8% gradient? And unfortunately, if Ricky on his super light and whatever on the local group ride does you in on an over 8% gradient, politely, the bike's not the problem. Take a look at your legs. I'm gonna crack on with this climb. I'm slightly concerned with the amount of people coming down this climb with rain jackets on, because politely, I ain't got one. And yeah, I think I'm gonna be not stopping at the top, pushing over. Let's go. As you can see with this bike, I've actually made some changes. So I've swapped out the Envies for lightweights. Personally, I feel like the lightweights look way better than the Envies. These lightweights, these are the Millenstein Art edition, and they've just been released. They've got a wider rim profile now, so you can fit a tire and it actually looks like a good size rather than something dinky. And they feel better. I've been incredibly fortunate in my life to be sponsored by Lightweight. They're a German brand, iconic in the sport of cycling. Been used by Team Sky, Jan Ullrich. Really, they are an icon in the sport. You know, the wheels are like handmade, wholly carbon fiber, the hub, the spokes, the rim obviously, and it's all intertwined into one. And they are single-handedly not only the best looking wheels, the stiffest. They do what they say. Lightweight, helping me get up this L-far. One thing that annoys me about this bike, there really is, the one-by system. It's just a little bit noisy. I mean, otherwise the one-by system is sick, but I don't miss a front chainring at all. But the noise is a bit annoying. Right, we've actually reached the top of L-far. You can go that way left to the top, and there's a viewpoint there, which is quite sick. But we have unfortunately got things to do, and we gotta be back in time for not completely screwing up my dinner plans. So we're gonna be heading down. This is a really good descent. That climb is also absolutely phenomenal to descend. Like, I'm actually a bit jealous that I'm not gonna be able to descend that today. But we're heading to Rupit, and this is what this route is kind of named after, Rupit. And it's a really funny looking town. You'll see what I mean in a second. It's a bit of a strange place, to be fair. To be fair, the only thing that's really of interest to me is this cafe. And the guy who runs it loves cyclists, but it's just incredibly Spanish. It's the sort of coffee that flushes you out. But, you know, you're miles from anywhere, to be fair, so what can you expect? One of those almost ran me over earlier, so yes and no to motorbikes. Also, what size bike did I get? Well, this is the Y1 RS and I got a size small. I am 5'8", 172 kilometers on a good day. And it fits me perfectly. Embarrassment. Well, what's embarrassing is I've actually gone the wrong way because I didn't have the route loaded, and I was a bit too confident there, to be fair, with remembering this route, and I've actually royally fucked myself here. Yeah, I think I'm at least 10-15k off the route. I actually didn't need this, to be fair. My legs are feeling fine, but this has cooked me. This is a very good example of when you should trust your gut. And my gut was kicking a little bit, thinking like, don't quite remember this bit. And here we are. And what, to make matters worse, this was mostly a descent, and now I'm climbing back up. Alright. Now the wahoo's going off. Right, I'm at the point where this is gonna turn into a bit of an adventure, because I've gone so far off road. I must have been so in my own head. Classic. Right, this looks like a gravel road, so we're gonna see if the Y1 RS is gonna do gravel. Right. It's light gravel. I've just hit this 8.6 kilometer climb, about almost 6% average gradient. It's absolutely putting me in a box. I'm in a box. Pack me up and ship me. First class, please. I really need to pick up some food. We've gone incredibly rogue, but I really crave something salty. And yeah, so the Snickers and the Kinder Bueno is gonna wait, but the Pringles and the hamon and the cheese is gonna go nicely. Honestly, it's pretty good. So we are descending off St. Hilary. This is an unbelievably rewarding descent, and it might be one of the best descents actually in Girona, in my opinion. It's just got some of the most beautiful corners and like cambers, and it's really nice. And it's good to get away from the atrocity that I committed at that petrol station, where I'm probably going to be serving a life ban from that place for the minerals that were absorbed on that petrol station. But we move. This is the back end of the ride. Thank God. We're 136 kilometers in, and I think we got some kilometers to go, but like, I'm not that cracked about it, to be fair. Cue sheet, 36k to go. Minor. Let's get it. And with that, we are home. We have done it. That has been the panic training of a century this weekend, and this week, to be fair. We've clocked well over 300 kilometers for this weekend. We did about 173 kilometers. The Girona weather did an absolutely phenomenal gig of making this a whole lot easier than it would be in England. Yeah, honestly, at the moment, flights are really cheap to Girona, and honestly, if you're looking for a break from the weather in the UK, like I was, that's how I initially came over here. I'd highly recommend it. Right now, I'm completely and utterly finished, but there's no rest for the wicked because it's my 6-month anniversary with my girlfriend, and I'm gonna go pick her up at the airport with some flowers, and we're gonna go for a really nice dinner at a place called Sinofos, which is, yeah, if you're looking for an incredibly nice meal in Girona. Hopefully see some of you at the Gravel World Champs with a lot more form than I had last year. Let's get it.